sex, quinque, quator, tres, duo, unus, nihil, nihil, nihil. It's interesting that, by the way, if you're super confused, that is the lines. The nihil should have made it real obvious, of Moog, Lord of Blood. But cut content, sex, quinque, quator, unfortunately. I saw that video like a couple weeks ago now, with, his recovered dialogue. So cool. I know sex, so funny, but that quinque, quator sounded so good. The way that voice actor delivered those lines. Gonna be talking for a long time, so sorry. If you want to skip ahead, feel free. To when you see the screen move, that's when I moved. Actually, I'll move a little bit right now. Yeah. Dude, look at the beauty. Look at this beauty right here. Looks so good. I'm gonna play through Volcano Manor evening, right? Night. Straight up night, yeah. Night, evening. Whatever I can get it to. Because, look at this. It looks so glorious. Straight up Bloodborne, right? But better graphics. I want to do that to not cover the entrance there. At the same time, I want this elevated view. So, alright. Cool. Let's go over to this list. I have a lot of things on this list. Forgot to actually do this. Now I feel like starting over the video because the light was too bright. Whatever. Okay. The DLC. Alright. Shadow of the Earth Tree. I believe it was February 28th. Sorry, by the way, actually before I even get to that, it's been like 2 days shy of a month. Last upload was on February 19th, and right now it's March 17th, so almost a month of not having continued this playthrough. For the majority of it, I was busy with work. And the other half of it, I was just Attack on Titan. What can I say? That hour-long special came out, and I rewatched some episodes I watched that 2-hour movie on Funimation specifically, but I watched that 2-hour film that recaps seasons 1 through 3, and then I watched some recaps on the beginning of season 4, and then I watched a few episodes, like 5 episodes of season 4, the end of season 4, and then I watched the hour-long special. It's so disgustingly good. There's a reason why it's my favorite anime of all time. There's a reason why after I watched season 2, I watched season 1 when it came out in 2013, and I thought it was super cool, and then it just disappeared off the face of the earth, so I kind of forgot about it. And then 2018, I actually uploaded the video which is a For Honor video. I talk about at the beginning of that video. I talk about it, but the one where I'm wearing a red sweater. I forget specifically what the video was about, but I discovered in 2018 that season 2 of Attack on Titan came out, and I was like, and it came out a year prior in 2017, and I didn't hear about it. Usually do, because I have siblings and cousins, and we always talk about anime or whatever else. So I'm shocked that none of them mentioned it to me. But anyway, Shadow of the Earth Tree DLC announced February 28th. I believe it was a Tuesday. Yes, it was, because I had an interview for a job. That's why I remember so exactly. But yeah, that's Mikola in the video. My immediate thoughts on it were Mikola confirmed, which we all knew. But that tree, though, that's very interesting. When they said Shadow of the Earth Tree, my immediate thought was, okay, so that's the tree. That's the Earth Tree that I was like, this is after the events of the game. Look at that. The archery is all burnt up, scarred black, charred black. I mean, but then again, I watched some videos. People were talking about, maybe it's this other tree called the Helfen. So maybe some other kind of Halig tree. I don't know. Miquella's Halig tree, but corrupted with Death Blight, Godwin stuff. I don't know. But the other really interesting thing about that image they released to me is the ghost gravestones. Those like phantom gravestones. I thought that was really, really cool. Gravestones that we'll be able to actually just run right through, not blocking our path. Love it. But it's still there, so it's a little bit of environmental variety without actually blocking our progression, having to run around it. Anyway, but it also made me think some kind of, different dimension, ulterior dimension, kind of dream. I think that's what it is. It's like Miquella's dream or something. I also loved the environment. Like wheat field, so unique, so different from anything else we have in the game. So unique, so awesome. I was getting really sick and tired of all the rocky surfaces, honestly, that each open world region had. So, and I'm sure there'll still be some rocky stuff, but if this area is like mostly wheat fields like that we run across, with the rocky bits only being at the edge of a cliff or something, I'd be so happy. But I just hope it's a darker, grittier DLC. And we all know, best part of From Software's games is always the DLC, which is why I will never recover from the fact that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, my favorite game of all time, did not get DLC. But anyway, we all know Old Hunters, Ringed City, Artorias of the Abyss for Dark Souls 1. All 3 DLCs, right, for Dark Souls 2 I enjoyed immensely, except for Frigid Outskirts. We don't talk about that around here. And then, so we all know DLC is the best content in the game. I'm going to make actually a video about this, pleading to FromSoft. I'm sure no one will see it, and even if they did, Miyazaki never listens to anyone and does whatever he wants, so ultimately it probably wouldn't have an impact on it. But I just feel so strongly about it, I'll actually make a standalone video for it, where I actually sit in a chair and have my freaking DSLR camera recording. And then I'll just transition that into some gameplay so it's not boring and it's not just me talking. But just hoping for some things, just because of how much I love these games and what I would love to see in it. First of all, darker, grittier DLC. No more... I know Elden Ring is not Dark Souls, but what I realized that I was missing in Elden Ring, and the reason why, as you see on the screen right now, I'm going to make it night, is I didn't realize how much I loved that darker, grayer, grittier feel of the Souls games in Bloodborne until I played Elden Ring, where, it's vibrant Souls, pretty Souls, right? Colorful. And I liked it at first, and it still looks gorgeous. But like I said, I didn't realize how much I loved the darker tones. Until it hit me. I was like, no wonder that thing that's nagging me, besides the open world being so big and that I don't like. Because, anyway, that's going to be another subject I come up on in a second. But the other thing that was irking me that I didn't realize, I was like, there's like an emptiness I feel playing the game. There's something I'm missing, and I think it's just because it's not dark enough. I don't know. So anyways, I'm just hoping for a darker, grittier DLC. The open world being a wheat field area, cool. But I hope, all the linear stuff is going to be darker aesthetics. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I wanted to say about the Shadow of the Erdtree. And yeah, actually, I think it's the trailer, because we just got an image, which is so weird, because we usually get a video, we don't just get an image, or we don't get anything, right? Just an image for an announcement is pretty rare for From Software, but if it has ever happened before. I don't remember that it has. I'm guessing there's going to be a reveal trailer at Summer Game Fest. Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. 2 years ago, worked like a charm, right? And then I believe the game will come out I mean, sorry, the DLC will come out. Expansion, they're calling it, not just DLC. Expansion. Because it is a freaking expansion with how big this game is, right? Makes it sound more grandiose, and it will be, I'm sure. I believe it's going to come out October. That's my guess. So we'll get the trailer in June at Summer Game Fest, and then October for the actual release. And of course, as everyone else already knows, DLC is going to be absolutely enormous, just like the game is. I'm expecting at least one open world area, and I'm praying for at least 3 legacy dungeons. I know that's a lot to ask for. 4 would be my ideal, but I'm just gonna say 3. I highly doubt it. I'm sure we'll be lucky if we get 2, but whatever legacy dungeons we do get, I hope they're so big that I get exhausted. Because before this game came out, Elden Ring, I was like, the bigger the better. I love it. Because I loved how long Dark Souls 2 was, right? Get the Drangleic Castle, and I'm thinking, oh, the end of the game. It's like, nope, you're about halfway. I love that feeling. But I loved it so much with the Dark Souls 2 because it's linear. I hate the open world stuff. It was nice at first. It quickly becomes exhausting, especially for someone like me who wants to check behind every nook and cranny, every rock and tree to make sure I didn't miss an item, a path, NPC. My head hurts, right? And then I'll eventually miss something anyway because that's just how big it is. But anyway, I hope they make this the open world area for this DLC like, I don't know, probably like Caelid's size, because Caelid's, it seems to me anyways, to be the smallest open world area when you subtract Radahn's boss arena, which takes like what, 30% of the map, if not more. But yeah, about Caelid's size would be nice. I hope it's not Liurnia, which is the biggest one. At least, again, I think it is. If you just look at the map, it feels that way too. It's so enormous. Limgrave is huge too. Altus Plateau has a good amount to it. And Mountaintops of the Giants / Consecrated Snowfields / Flame Peak. Although Flame Peak is really more so just Mountaintops of the Giants. Although I like to call all of it just Mountaintops of the Giants, big snow area. Open world snowy area. But, yeah, Mountaintops of the Giants, I think, is the smallest open world area. But then again, like I said, I didn't really play through that as much during my first playthrough. Just because after I inherited the Frenzied Flame and Melina said deuces, I got so pissed that I was just like, whatever. My true playthrough is going to be on the PC anyway. Screw this. It was on the PS5, by the way. So, because my PC was not good enough, the one I had at the time, to play the game. Well, to play the game and record in OBS. I was actually able to play the game with the PC itself. It was an RX 580, and then for the processor, Ryzen 5 1400 quad-core processor, which now I have a RX 6700, was it called? Or 6700 XT, Radeon 6700 XT for the graphics card, and then 5600 for the processor. I forget. I don't remember if it was 3600 or 5600. Also AMD. Ryzen, I think. Also Ryzen. It's been a long time since I looked at these specs, so I forgot their names. But anyway, also have 32 gigabytes of RAM. Whereas before, I had 16, but one of them wasn't plugged in properly, so I actually only had 8. Once I actually start playing, I'll have to switch it back to evening, because obviously I'm talking for a long time. Like I said it would be. I hope we get at least 3 legacy dungeons. As long as it's... Even if we get 2, hopefully it's not just 1. But at least give us 1 that's bigger than Lanedell. Lanedell is by far my favorite legacy dungeon in the game. Not only because of the aesthetics, it's absolutely gorgeous, but also it's so big, intricate, multi-leveled, so many layers to it. I love it so much. You know, you spend 5 hours playing through it your first time, easy. If you're like me and you're checking around every corner, making sure you got everything and whatnot, I hope we get one bigger. a legacy dungeon bigger than Landell. Or if they give us one about the size of Landell, I won't be upset. But I hope it's bigger, because everything in the DLC just has to be bigger and better. Just hopefully not the open world. Because literally, like, play through the game, and all my favorite parts of the game are all what FromSoft is traditionally good at, and that's linear level design. All the repetitive ruins, rocky structures, literally just the rocks on the ground. Not the rocks, but the ground itself, right? The rocky surfaces. There's a point where I even wished there was just more grass covering the ground, because every region you go to, you could just see that it's copy and paste the rocks, how they look, how the rocky ground looks. Big, blocky, squarey but rounded, big circle. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but I think you might know what I mean. Okay. What else? Yeah, and this is the other reason why I'm going to be making that video is, even if we don't get a darker, grittier DLC, whatever, fine, it is what it is. This is Elden Ring, not Dark Souls. I get it. I hope they give us an item that allows us to put more than one Ash of War on a weapon. 2. Just give us 2 Ashes of War on each weapon possible, please. Please. I wish 3, but that might be overkill, especially in PvP. But at least give us something that allows us to add an additional Ash of War on the weapon. That's what's been nagging at me. I literally dream about this at night. Actually, I don't, but I think about it, right? I'll think about it a lot. The fact that how much more versatility there would be allowing us to equip one more Ash of War. Because there are so many amazing Ash of War and so many amazing animations in the game, right? It just feels like such a dumb move to limit us to 1. Why? You know, it's not game breaking to give us 2. It's just more fun. I can do Giant Hunt and Lion's Claw together, or have it on the same weapon. How epic would that be? Or Spinning Slash and Piercing Fang together on a single weapon. You switch to a different weapon, boom, 2 more Ashes of War. It just, combat would feel so much more engaging, as opposed to just 1 Ash of War on each. Now I understand if you were to say you can't put Royal Knight's Resolve and Lion's Claw on the same one, because that might be overkill. I understand that. Lion's Claw does a lot of damage, huge damage. Royal Knight's Resolve does huge damage. Putting it together is overkill. Can understand it. If you want to limit what Ashes of War can go together, fine. Some unique Ashes of War, some unique weapons with unique Ashes of War, like the weapon I have right now, Ordovis's Greatsword, with Ordovis's Vortex. Okay, cool. Allow me to just add another one to it. You know, allow me to put Giant Hunt on it, for example. But if you want me to not be able to switch out Ordovis's Greatsword, fine. But even that doesn't make sense. If you want to say unique Ashes of War cannot be applied to a different weapon, 100% understand that. You don't want to put Ordovis's Vortex, which is the Ash of War name, on a Claymore. I can get it. I 100% understand that. But the fact that I can't change Ordovis's Vortex to whatever other Ash of War I want, I don't understand that. That's dumb. We should be able to change the Ash of War in any weapon. If you don't want to put this unique Ash of War of a specific weapon on a different weapon, I can understand that. Like I said, like Iokai's Dancing Blade, you don't want to be able to put that on any other weapon besides Marius' Executioner's Sword, and I forget what the other one is called, but Iokai's something as well, I think. Regalia of Iyokai, yeah. Anyway, I think I've made my point there. Moving on. There's also things that I've missed that I'll be, before I start Volcano Manor here, things that I'll be going to grab, like the Green Turtle Talisman in Limgrave. Never got that. Anyway. Yeah, other stuff like giving us poise increases with guard counter and Raptor of the Mists, the Ash of War. Being able to just be hit out of it immediately after you initiate it is so dumb. Completely pointless. Someone's using a katana. They're attacking, right? I guard counter. I block. I guard counter. I go to hit them with the guard counter. and I get hit out of out of that guard counter animation with a stupid light that they were spamming, R1 spam. It makes no sense. Or Raptor of the Mist, same thing. Although I think Raptor of the Mist might be a little better. Then I don't know how well armor, how much of a role armor plays in that or whatever, but I hope we get Torrent armor. I'm sure we won't, but that would be so epic. Some kind of customization for Torrent, And like other stuff that I already said, that I hope the DLC mainly focuses on legacy dungeons, but hey. The other huge thing, and another reason why I'll make that video, please, I just hope in my heart, deep in my heart, that they balance the bosses around solo fighting and not summons. This game was very comparable to the previous Souls games, in my opinion, until Mountaintops of the Giants. And anything late game like that. So Millennia, Foreskin Duo, Radagon Phase 2, and I'm not talking about Elden Beast. I mean when Radagon gets to about 50% health, how he's always just spazzing out, teleporting, doing a bunch of stuff. It's so obvious those bosses are balanced. The ridiculous damage, the super short punish windows that we get, the bosses seemingly doing infinite chain combos. All that is obviously for the boss to be able to not be too weak, balancing multiple enemies, you and whatever spirit summons you may have, which makes it unfairly difficult playing it solo. I hope the bosses, which the DLC bosses are always the best. The one that always comes to mind for me is Bloodborne, right? When I was playing, before I played Bloodborne and I would see comments here and there, it would always be people talking about the Orphan of Kos, Ludwig, Lawrence, Lady Maria. And when I started playing the game and I was like, and I was trying to avoid spoilers, but it is what it is. Those names were spoiled for me. And I was excited. I was like, I was playing through the game and I was like, when am I going to get to these bosses? Oh, I get through the whole game. I didn't encounter a single one of the bosses. And then it hit me, right? All of these epic, legendary bosses that everyone's always so hype about are all DLC. All of them? With the exception of, Gurman. I don't even know any other bosses besides Gurman that are really talked about like that besides the DLC bosses. In terms of being epic or, whatever. But, anyway. The DLC bosses I'm expecting to be the best bosses in the game. The bosses I'll enjoy the most. If they balance it around people playing the game solo. It's like, if you want the game to be more accessible, in other words, easy mode, because you use a summon, the bosses are a joke if you are a good player solo. They're a complete joke. So the game's either too easy or it's unfairly difficult if you're solo. It's too easy if you use summons, or unfairly difficult if you're solo. So I hope it's very like Orphan of Kos is my favorite boss of all time. Dark Eater Madeir being a very close second, and Ludwig is there as well. Ludwig would probably be third. But then again, there's also Champion, Gundyr, Dragon Slayer Armor, frickin' Nameless King. There are just so many good bosses. But Orphan of Kos, right? Perfect example. Challenging boss, very challenging boss. But at the same time, I had fun fighting the boss. Because there were openings, decent openings. It's true the boss was super fast, but so was I. The fact that they only give us Dark Souls roll here, which another point I was trying to bring up that I wrote down as well was, I hope we somehow, it's not going to happen. Some kind of item we pick up that gives us Bloodborne Dash. It's like a consumable item, for example, right? Old Hunter's Bone from Dark, for example. We popped up a consumable item. We get Bloodborne Dashes for a minute. Come on. Give us something. Throw us a bone, something. Will you, FromSoft? Will you, Miyazaki? I just hope so much that the bosses are balanced around solo fights. Ugh, dude. Millennia is probably my favorite boss fight in the game right now. But that's just because I could probably hitless her right now. That's how many videos I've watched about her to understand all of her openings. And yet she's the one that knocked my enjoyability of the game to... I went from enjoying the game very much to because of Millennia. Because just the mind fuck of why would they do this? It's so unfairly hard. I don't want to fight a boss for 20 hours. Because at the end of that 20 hours, after I finally beat it, if I finally beat it, there's not going to be a sense of joy. It's just despair. There was no reason for it to be that difficult. And to be honest with you, yes, these games, I do play them because their challenge is a part of the fun, 100%. But I'm not a masochist. People say people that play Souls games or whatever are masochists, difficult games like that. No. Because all the previous games, challenging sometimes, sure. But they're very fun. And they're not really all that difficult. Again, depends on you, what type of gamer you are. But Millennia was oppressive. Very oppressive. And Gods can do it if you're not using sleep pots. Also very oppressive. So obviously they're balanced around summons. How the hell are you supposed to know if you're not using a sleep build? How the hell are you supposed to know they're super susceptible to sleep? You don't. So it's very obvious that they're also balanced around spirit summons. Please. From Software, please. I wrote like a full page here. There's a lot that I wrote here. Let me just quickly skim through. Yeah, and if that's the other point I was trying to make with the boss fights being too easy if you summon and unfairly difficult if you're solo, is if you want the game to be more accessible, people can always summon players. Just like all the previous games prior. Sorry, all the prior games. Except for Sekiro, obviously. Actually, I don't remember if you could summon for Demon Souls or not. But eventually, someone who wants to use summons will find a player skilled enough. Like, let me solo her, right? They will find a player skilled enough to actually go sit in a corner and just watch, right? So it doesn't make any sense to me to balance an enemy or boss around spirit summons. I don't understand. People can summon people still. Anyway, if you want the Ash spirit summons to still play a role, simple. Just nerf them, right? Nerf them to a point where it's... Sorry, what I was trying to say was, please balance the bosses around people who are fighting the boss solo. And if you balancing the boss around people playing it solo makes the boss too easy when people summon, just nerf the summons for the DLC, if that's possible. I'm guessing there it is, right? Someone enters the DLC, spirit summons are not as strong as the base game, because I don't think they're going to change anything with the base game at this point in terms of rebalancing spirit summons and whatnot, or bosses. But anyway, it's just I just don't get it. People can still summon people. Why would you balance around summons? Ability to make torrent faster, that would be cool, but I feel like with how much the game used to actually load, right? Not only load, but look good. The draw distance needs to look good. So, especially for most people's hardware, right? Whatever PCs or the consoles. If torrent was any faster, I feel like the game would just be constantly loading in the distance. So I don't know about that. But it would be awesome to be able to write a faster torrent. Because even with torrent, this open world area sometimes just seems like it takes forever to sprint through. To ride through. Gallop through. Okay. I think I've said most of what I wanted to say before I go test something. But actually, before I test it, I'll just skip that. And yeah. So on playthrough part 7 of this playthrough, the PC playthrough, at the 2 hour and 14 minute mark, 2 hour 14 minutes and 5 seconds to 2 hours and 16 minutes, I was talking about what I would hope DLC would look like, which is basically everything I've said up until now in terms of, I hope the open world area is smaller, the legacy dungeons are bigger, and the focus being on that, and basically what I said now. So that just goes to show you something I've been thinking about for a long time, and I just still hope that's the case. The other thing is I wanted to really apologize for was the last 2 parts. The mic gain was too high, so I would be clipping a lot, which I completely forgot until I just read that now in the notes. So maybe I was doing it right now too up until this point, so sorry about that. I actually don't remember if I lowered the mic gain or not, so I'll probably just have the microphone a little bit farther away from my mouth. Yeah, grayer, darker tones of the Souls games is what I didn't know I loved being all capital. That's what I wrote. And then I also wrote in all capitals, will not watch Shadow of the Erdtree trailer. I'll try to hold true to that. The only leading up to the release of Elden Ring, I watched everything that it had to do with Elden Ring up until like the day before release day or 2 days before release day, when a bunch of people on YouTube that got early copies were showcasing bosses or whatever. I didn't watch any of that. But I'll try to not watch anything that has to do with Shadow of the Erdtree. Although I'll still get spoiled from it. Random YouTube thumbnail comes up or something. But I'll try not to watch it at all, so I can go in as blind as possible, which is always the aim, but sometimes I'm not so strong. What if... yeah. Just other thoughts, stupid thoughts that I also wrote down here. Like, what if they did an enormous fog wall spanning the whole wall, and it was 100 feet high? Kind of like the Ancestor Spirit boss, or Astel, Natural Born of the Void. Their boss fogs being huge, but even way bigger than that. That would be super epic coming upon a boss fog that big, huh? Oh yeah, other thoughts like, I hope we get spells that only activate with specific weapons. For example, the Mariah's Executioner Sword, the one the Bell-bearing Hunters use, or Elimer of the Briar. How, yeah, the Ash of War is the Dancing Blade, but you can't do any of the other like telekinetic moves where he's using the sword, the red glow. What if there were spells that you can only activate if you had that specific weapon on? So, whatever spell you would name that spell for when he's, swinging the sword through the air, that will be so epic, right? Those true cosplay builds. If only, man. If only. Unique power stances with specific weapons, with specific weapon combinations. For example, Clean Rot, Sword and Spear, Bloodhound's Fang and Claws, Bloody Hellas and Reduvia, or whatever other blood weapon. Or, specifically with Bloodhound's Fang and Claws and the Clean Rot, Sword and Spear. Those are actually, very closely related. So I wish we had unique power stance moves for when you combine specific weapons like that. I also hope we would get shorter recoveries on all attacks. It's just so oppressive, especially to a strength enjoyer like myself, right? Ultra great swords and great swords, aka ultra great swords being colossal swords in this game. The recoveries are so bad, man. Even with all the buffs, they're still, with how fast the bosses are, I don't understand why our recoveries are so shit. I said if none of the above, just give us something that improves combat versatility. Because honestly, even with Ashes of War, the R1 combos, R2 combos, backstep attacks, jump attacks, guard counters that are useless 99% of the time. That's why I never use it. And spells. The game still feels lacking in the combat department. It just feels like, yeah, okay, I could use this spell or that spell. As a melee build, for example, I could use this spell or that spell to improve the versatility. But it's still not going to beat me just going full melee only. And R1 or the occasional R2 or jumping R1 or jumping R2. Jumping R2 really good. It's going to be the best option all the time, 99% of the time. So it just feels like I'll be doing repetitive gameplay anyway, you know? Or that's why right now I have freaking this poly crossbow equipped that I should upgrade. It's, you know, just to, and why I have the soporific grease on and the glintstone scrap is so that I can just do stuff that feels like not that repetitive anymore. So I just hope the fact that the reason why I was so hyped for this game, out of my mind, losing my mind hyped, is because it was coming out after Secular Shadows Die Twice, dude. So the fact that they didn't just make this combat, if not the same, similar enough that it's not super soulsy, which dodge rolling being how you want to evade damage 99% of the time. Oh, just such a lost opportunity. Anyway. Yeah, so this is my guess also for Mikola, how that's going to go down. We're going to go into the dream world. We're going to get teleported through the cocoon at Mohgwyn Palace Mausoleum. So you have to kill, that would mean you have to kill Mohg Lord of Blood in order to get into the DLC, which seems brutal. Not because of it being super late game in terms of when you get there, because you can do the Vades questline and get there early. But having to kill Mohg at like level 40 or 50 or whatever level you would be at around there, pretty tough. So because of how tough that would be, I don't know. That I'm not super confident that the cocoon is how you go into the DLC, but that's what I always thought, that cocoon. I think I said it on my first playthrough. After I killed Mohg, I said, this is definitely how you get into DLC. With the freaking hand, Mikola's hand, or what we assume is Mikola's hand, outstretching from the cocoon. So I'm assuming we enter the DLC through there, get teleported to the DLC world, which is like a dream world, right? That's where we see the giant black gold sap oozing tree. You know, we do whatever, and then at the end of it, you know, we come across Mikola. He's our friend in the DLC. You know, we're chilling with each other, and then at the end, we finish the DLC and we come back out. The cocoon that we first used to enter the DLC is now gonna be where Mikola comes out of. He'll come out of that cocoon, a grotesque monster. You know, Mohg corrupted him, and now he's going to be the final boss of the DLC, essentially. And he's going to be this crazier than Orphan of Kos kind of boss for the end of the DLC. I hope that's the case. That sounds so epic. But anyway, and he'll have something about, like, the name will be something like Mikola corrupted something, you know? Let's see. Yeah, and what I was going to say was, if when you complete the DLC, if it doesn't transport you back to where you first entered the cocoon, or if where you go into the DLC is not actually the cocoon itself. In other words, if we still have to fight Mohg to get to, so we have to kill Mohg first. So we enter the DLC somewhere else. We come out of the DLC. Now we go to kill Mohg. And then after we kill Mohg and we approach the cocoon, new cutscene. Mikola coming out, grotesque monster we have to fight, super difficult boss, whatever. And if that's the case, when we first come upon Mohg, what if it's a different cutscene with Mohg? And now, you know, he knows that Mikola's about to come out of the cocoon. Or maybe would it be a duo boss fight? No way, right? Anyway, some kind of new cutscene or some kind of new content with Mohg if you didn't kill him before completing the DLC. I don't know. Just throwing the ideas around, of course. Yeah, other ideas that I just put on here. It would be cool to have Ashes of War that can only be done if power stancing specific weapons. For example, Banished Knight. The Banished Knight jump spin attacks that they do. Super cool jump spinning attacks that they do. They launch themselves at you with the whirlwind around them, and then their swords come down at the same time. You know, just throwing ideas out there. Here's a little prediction from me. I'm predicting we get more of the blue magic golems. The blue magic golem in the DLC. Basically the one in Caelid. Like the strongest enemy in the game almost. Jeez. The one that I got super triggered. The fact that it's only a rune arc and like a painting that's down there. But specifically that it's just a rune arc that's next to him and that you don't get anything from him if you kill him. Although, I don't remember now if he respawns or not, but if he does respawn, which I think he does, is it possible to farm the blue halberd from him, the magic halberd? I don't think it is, though. Press X to doubt. Yeah, the fact that From Software still didn't patch out the status build-ups happening even when you dodge, right? Like Bleed or Frost. Still being built up on your screen when you clearly iframed an attack and didn't receive any damage. The fact that they didn't actually patch that for Elden Ring upon release, the fact that the game came out with that still being a thing and then not get patched since release is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Yeah, so and then I just wrote some other stuff that I wish was the case. Which, the game just being faster paced, you know. If we're going to have dodge rolls as the way to evade attacks, I just wish the dodge rolls were super quick. Super quick. Boop, done. Like, a light roll would seem slow in comparison to how fast I would like them to be. Although not too fast, you know. You don't want to make the game too easy, but still. Yeah, so having a much faster dodge roll combined with multiple Ashes of War on one weapon, the game would just be so much more epic, so much sicker. If you want to make the bosses that fast and aggressive, allow us to dance without having us to summon anything to make the fight manageable, you know? Okay, cool. That's basically everything in terms of stuff that I wanted to talk about. Maybe I missed a line or two, but whatever. There's a lot of stuff in here. Basically, all that's left now that I see is to go do stuff that I didn't do yet. First things first. How long did that take? You're lying. You're lying that I was speaking for 43 minutes. You're lying. I was 100% estimating that it would take like 30 minutes at the most. 43 minutes? Bruh. Late day. Yeah, first things first. Green Turtle Talisman. Which should be in these ruins over here. Which I think I got on my first playthrough on the PS5, but somehow tragically missed here. If I missed that, what else did I miss in these ruins, you know? Bruh. How did I miss that? Or did I not have any stone sword keys and I said I would come back for it? I'll actually have to go and watch when I first went through this area. Remember, I went through this area a lot to make sure I didn't miss anything, so the fact that I still missed that, big yikes. I just looked around so I didn't, so I could see that I didn't miss anything else, but just gonna check how many I have right now. It's not as many as I thought I had. See how I have Baldic's Blessing on my first quick item slot there? I'm trying to remember to use it. And I still won't, I'm sure. Obviously in combat, so it's not a total waste. Cool. Next up, I actually wanted to test something in the Divine Tower with this Black Flame Monk. Yeah, to do a guard counter with a straight sword, and then a guard counter with a colossal sword, and see if I get interrupted out of it when I use the colossal sword. Because I will not get interrupted out of it using a straight sword. Short sword, which is a type of straight sword, but let me just use the broadsword. Well, I just use the long sword. The fact that they're both straight swords, but one's do I even have a shield equipped? I'm gonna be fat rolling, aren't I? Cool. See how quick that was? I can interrupt the monks. I can interrupt the monks' attacks every time. Look at that. Except for that attack, which somehow just missed. So cool. Somehow I'm missing that attack. I think I made my point. I think I found out the information I wanted to find out. Now. Will I get interrupted out of this guard counter? Okay, that was a slow attack he did. Rip Runark. Pretty sure that was a slow attack that he did there. So the follow-up attack, sorry. Okay. unupgraded, I think, right? Doing this much damage. Can you just do the same attack you were doing most of the time? That was running attack, so I didn't want to do it then. I'm stuck. There we go. See? Still got hit. That's what I was trying to confirm, that I would still get hit on the follow-up attack. I'm deadest. Saw that though. And that was not the real quick follow-up he was doing that he was somehow missing on me when I was doing the straight sword attack. That was straight up one that I was stopping him from connecting with when I was using the straight sword. I couldn't even get it off that time. This game is trash. I'm sorry, this game is trash. I don't know what From Software is thinking. But super boneheaded stuff like that is what I will never understand and will never be able to wrap my head around. It's just so tragic. Where's the love for the heavier weapons? And if you're going to give us heavy weapons, why would you make the... I don't know. It's just... This game is clearly like Bloodborne or Sekiro paced with the enemies. And then we just still feel so slow with the dodge rolls and the heavy weapons that don't have great recoveries or even faster attack animations. Anyway, it's just so frustrating. Where's the balance, man? Where's the balance? And the reason why I had the idea to do this is because I was watching a video. Someone was fighting that monk, and they were guard countering with a straight sword on, and they were interrupting the monk every time. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that guard counter is so fast for the straight swords, and I haven't used straight swords really. So I was like, let me go check with the colossal sword, because I bet it'll be too slow. And what a shocker, it's too slow. The line that I missed earlier, something else that I also wanted to say I wish they added was, for them to give us something that fundamentally changes the way we play the game, where dodge rolling isn't the clear best way to avoid damage, something like a deflect or buff effect, some kind of God of War L3 plus R3 together, some kind of mode where you can go into, and if you want to say you still take some damage, sure, but or Neo, where you go into your spirit form, right? Neo 2, and if you get hit, it just shortens the duration of how long you can stay in that form. You don't actually take damage. Something where we'd be able to stand toe to toe and trade blows with the boss or enemy. You know, where it's not always, oh, dodge roll, oh my god, get away, they're so strong. And then you're pathetic and doing the same repetitive moves, R1 and R2, you know, it's just, it just kills me, man. Anyway. I also wish there was some way for us to be even larger than we are, our player character model. Just because every enemy we face, not every enemy, but most of the enemies we face are just so much bigger than us. It's annoying after a while. Well, at least it is to me. So much so that I actually searched up if there was videos of people that have enlarged their characters, and there was video by Lil Aggie where every time he beat a boss he increased his size by like 10%. And yeah, I watched that video all the way through. I was thoroughly entertained. But anyway, I'm actually going to pause the recording real quick just so I can read through this list again to make sure I didn't miss anything else that I wanted to grab before I started Volcano Manor proper. Yes, Land Squirt Summons, which I did not pick up. Never came across it. Didn't even know they were a thing. Until I was watching a video of someone talking about, I think it was like, can you beat all bosses using only spirit summons or something. I don't remember what the exact video was. Maybe it wasn't that, but I saw that they were talking about how line squirt summons were one of like two, but one of a few spirit summons that have a predetermined spawn location for whatever boss fight you're facing and that you summon them for. I just looked up a video real quick of where I would find it, and I marked it on the map right here. So let's go grab it, eh? This is what kills me, and the reason why I'm saying I hope the DLC isn't. I hope the open world portion is condensed. First of all, just because of the copy paste stuff, because the ruins, all the catacombs and mines and all that got old real quick. But especially the open world area, actual open world area, the ruins. There's a lot of enemy variety in this game, a ton of unique enemies, but the game is just so big that when you see them over and over again, it lowers the quality. It lowers the enjoyment. And I don't even want to talk about the fact that Godfrey and even the main story bosses being repeated, like Godfrey, Godefroy, or whatever he's called in that Everjail. Astel, which I'll always call him Astel, not Estelle, because there's not two L's, but also there's not two S's, so Astel also sounds wrong. In other words, it's just a dumb name. But anyway, if it's confirmed that it's Estelle, I'll pronounce it Estelle, but Estelle doesn't sound right to me. Again, because there's not two L's. But anyways, getting back to the point I was trying to make, this is why I hate it being open world. Sorry, yeah, that too, but the fact that it's a big open world too. Look at this. Dude, I spent so many hours in Liurnia, in my first playthrough and in this playthrough, to make sure I didn't miss anything. Anything. And look at this, still missed this. Look how freaking careful I was during that playthrough. Checking everything. Oh, circling back around, making sure I didn't miss any items, any entrances, nothing, whatever. Still missed something. It even got to the point where I looked up if there was a mod that you can put on where all the items, not crafting materials, so none of the row of fruit or anything, that would be very overwhelming, but all of the actual pick-upable items, right, have a beacon on them that shoot from the ground to the sky, so that I wouldn't put it on at first, but after I finish a region and I think I got everything, I would put that mod on, and then it would illuminate me on whatever I missed behind a little nook or cranny, right? And no, I didn't find any such mod, so anyway, I don't know how difficult that would be to implement something like that. I know I should have grabbed the item first, but now I'm also just trying to be like, did I miss anything else in this, following this wall? You know, if I just hug this wall. I probably did hug this wall to a certain point and then just afterward, I shouldn't do this right now. I will die. You will fight. And you will die. The frickin' Elden Ring trailer, by the way, if you're confused as to what I'm talking about. And another thing that I'm going to babble on about here. Like 3 weeks ago, I searched up the leaked trailers that I watched March 1st, 2021. Over 2 years ago now. Of this game, before the official trailer dropped. The Game Fest trailer, confirming it was real. But really, those leaked trailers confirmed it was real. Oh, when I go back to watch those leaked trailers, it still instills in me an excitement, brings out an excitement that, even though I played this game, those leaked trailers look like a completely different game to this. And I was so, sorry, mic got close to my mouth again. I was so much more vibing with the feel of the leaked trailer as compared to this. It's the problem really is the open world. I just don't like open world, I guess. Or if it is open world, the fact that it's this big. Like literally, if everything I can see in this shot right now is basically everything there was to this region, and I wouldn't have to run too far to get to the ends of what I can see. To get to what I wouldn't have to run too far to get to what I see. Cool. But you just, especially without torrents, right? And that's another thing. What I will be doing on subsequent playthroughs where I'm just doing different cosplay builds and playing through the game. The next one being, after I'm done with this playthrough, I'll be immediately doing a Dark Moon Greatsword build. Sometimes using Moonveil as well. But mostly Dark Moon Greatsword. Sometimes power stancing it with 2 Dark Moon Greatswords. And the armor is going to be the Black Knife armor. Black Knife Assassin armor. Basically the Black Knife Tish armor. Because I feel like that's such a beautiful combo. And then the next playthrough after that is going to be a Elemer of the Briar or Bellbearing Hunter playthrough, because that cape is so good. It's straight up black Batman. It's and the plus the sword. Oh, it's so delicious, right? That weapon art. And just a bunch of other cosplays and whatnot. But the point I'm trying to make is those previous leaked trailer videos, when the narrator is talking about, oh, come to the lands between for the Elden Ring, right? And you see the player character stabbing those skeletons in the back in those ruins-like area. And that was like one portion of the game, and then we move on, and we never see anything that looks like it again. Exactly like it, anyway. That I would be so happy. In other words, I wish this game was linear, but... And even if we did get open world areas, like small pockets of open world areas, Like literally, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is it, right? Like right here, watch this. From like here, straight line through to here. All this area right here, I wish that was it. Like from here, cut through straight to here. And make whatever's in here, make the most use out of this space as you can. We'll have one ruins kind of area. Laskia ruins, that's it. We'll never see another ruins area here. We'll put other unique buildings or structures to make you, and actually put valuable items, And if you want to make the next zone, like the size of it from like here, from where we cut off from here, basically there, until like there, from here. This is the next cut point right here, from there to there, straight line through. And then everything in here, again, new unique looking stuff, but all this at once. And not only that, but we have like 5 big open world areas, and it's just super repetitive, even though they look unique in terms of the color palettes and stuff like that. The freaking how dark and gritty and bloodborne it looked, that little snippet where the player character is fighting Margit. I actually thought in those leaked trailers, that boss, obviously I didn't know it was Margit at the time, that boss looked like some kind of spider from like the waist down, because it's super blurry, it's a very low quality video. I thought it was some kind of like spider from the waist down, or not spider, but scorpion. And his tail does look kind of like a little bit like a scorpion like, but I thought it was like some kind of scorpion from the waist down kind of a boss that was super... And that when you fight him is always going to be nighttime, all right? Always going to be dark, a dark sky, and the player character, even what the player character was wearing from like the waist down, I think from the chest up, from waist up, he wasn't wearing any armor, but waist down he had like black on, so the whole thing looked darker, grittier. I don't know, it was like Halloween-y, with everything was dark, but the moon in the sky was bright. Oh, it just looked so good. That was a whole vibe. I don't know. You're all dying. Pretty sure I don't even have to charge it at all to one-shot them with the R2. It's just the R1 almost got him anyway. Another mod that I was looking for that I knew just didn't exist was a mod that made this game linear, and it just cut out not all the open world areas, but the majority of them, and somehow restructure the game where it's not too wide, let's just say. So just going through, you'll be able to progress pretty easily. But that would be way too much work, you know? Kind of like, it's basically, I took 1 damage. No damage. Even though I felt my controller vibrate. Dark Souls Nightfall, right? Right there. It's a fan-made sequel to Dark Souls. And they're actually restructuring the map, literally. Places that are nowhere near each other connecting and stuff, you know. I wish there was a mod like that for this, like I was just stating, where it's pretty much a linear game. And with the game being smaller, the open world portion being smaller, you don't run into the problem that you have right here, which is copy and pasting a bunch of enemies that are an absolute pain in the ass to kill. I'm OP right now. Obviously, I cleared this area a million years ago. I'm 133, so if I was appropriate level for this area, it would be a super pain in the ass to kill all these guys. They're tanky. So, and the reason why there are this many of them here is to fill up the space, because the open world portion is huge. So much space to cover. Again, leads to copy paste, a lot more copy paste, which is just a drop in quality overall. So it's just, it doesn't make sense to me, man. I hope Elden Ring is unique. Give us the DLC. If it's going to be more of the same, fine. I'll enjoy it for what it is. I'll enjoy the aspects of it that I've always enjoyed from these games. I'll super enjoy the legacy dungeon, whatever legacy dungeon or dungeons, hopefully, that we get. I'll super enjoy all the cool, new, awesome armors and weapons and spells we get in Ashes of War. All the new NPCs and whatever new story will come out of there. Hopefully I'll enjoy the bosses and they're not like Melania, which is going to, in other words, is fight her for 20 hours before you get any progress or get close to killing her, and then feel nothing but emptiness inside and frustration of why it was that difficult. Or use a summon and then it's easy forehead, use a summon and then use Rivers of Blood. Literally saw someone that sucked at the game and then they finally reached Melania and I was like, this dude's been not using any summons because they're like, I'm not going to summon this playthrough. And I was like, and he's been struggling doing just the dumbest shit in terms of, he'll get hit by something, it's obvious how to avoid it, and he'll be like, how do you avoid that? I'm like, did you not notice that this type of enemy always, for the example, the dragons, the open world dragons, for example, like a Gale or whatever, when they jump up, when they fly up, and they're doing the breath attack as they swoop over you, they always go on the right side. How do you avoid that attack? Don't run into the fire. That's how you avoid the attack. You run left. Yeah, attack misses you every time. They're literally running to the right where the attack lands and expands towards, and they're saying, how do I avoid it? That dude gets to Melania, and he happened to have, his stats happen to, enable him to use Rivers of Blood. He didn't respec for it. So props to him on that, I guess. But easy peasy lemon squeezy, killed her in a few tries. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Killed her in a few tries. And dude sucks at the game. Anyway. Land Squirt Ashes. Now, I remember this as well. And this is the other thing that kills me. People have complained about this. It's not something that I've complained about before. But I can understand it now. The fact that you're not going to always remember to reload an area after something happens, or to go back to where you first met an NPC, where something important happened with an NPC and an important interaction with an NPC happened, to go back there again after the end of a quest line, and then there's going to be an item there or something, If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're about to find out real soon. No. I believe, yes. I was saying I believe because I was trying to remember if there were any other graces down here. Besides the Moog, the Omen one. I don't believe so. I'm gonna attack you because frick you. Stop moving. It reaches that far, right? I'm alive. Running into more omens. Backstep L1. Backstep L1. Backstep L1. A lot more delayed than I thought it would be. Backstep L1. Backstep L1. Backstep didn't come across. Okay. Just trying to have fun. Just trying to switch it up. Which again feels meaningless most of the time because the optimal way to play is the optimal way to play, so why do anything different? Wait. I believe I already did this, right? Maybe not.
One day.
No, I didn't.
You'll get what's coming.
The video I saw of it is what I'm remembering. Or not. Okay, I did do this. I came back here because I saw that the mending death rune of the dung eater. I don't remember what it was called, but basically the item that gives you the dung eater ending, which I didn't even know was a thing. So I guess I just need to progress far enough into the story. Maybe after I burn the earth tree, I come. Oh no, I don't think I'll be able to access this. So I'll have to remember before I turn the capital to ash, if I have to just kill him in order to get it. So if I have to just kill him, yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to mess around and ruin it. So if I have to kill him, I'll just kill him now. Otherwise, I'll come back whatever I do in the story that would trigger the item being available. Maybe getting to Fair Missoula. I don't know. I am the most confused person in the world. So watch the video. Basically, you have to get all the seedbed curses and give it to him. I did see someone else in the comment section saying if you kill Radon while you're doing the Ronnie quest line, you lose this ending, which doesn't make any sense. Someone else said no, you don't, so I don't believe you do. Unless I'm just the blindest person in the world. Where the hell are all of the seedbed curses I've been collecting up to this point? Should have like 2 or 3. I'm not even sure at this point. Did talking to him somehow give it to him? I'm 99.99% sure it's under key items. Yeah, there's nothing else it would be under. It's not consumable. I know for a fact it's a key item, but like I said, did I give it to him without knowing that I gave it to him? Or did I give it to him the last time I spoke with him and I just forgot? Okay. Whatever. Alright, I went to go look at if seedbed curses can just up and disappear, or what is going on. I didn't find any answers there, but then I got distracted with a bunch of YouTube shorts. People are funny. Well, anyway, I want to go talk to, go visit our buddy, Alexander. I don't even remember where the hell the big lava area is. I know it's not this, because this is actual Volcano Manor. Huh. Audience pathway. Okay, this sounds close. I'll just start from here. I was planning on doing Volcano Manor this video, but I spent so much time just pissing about that I think I'll just collect whatever else I want to collect, do whatever whatever else I feel like doing in terms of just grabbing stuff I missed and stuff like that, and I'll just call this video discussion and loose ends, or running errands, you know. And then just start fresh with the new video, actually starting with Volcano Manor. I think it's over here. Let's do this. Let's do the thing that'll have us avoid the damn ruin bear. Remember at the beginning of the video when I was talking about the repetitive rocky ground? This right here is what I'm talking about. Right here. This rocky thing. Look at Torrent's nose. Alright. That. And right here. This right here. That I'm on right now. So much of that rocky formation as ground in the open world areas. It's so annoying. So I hope the wheat field, which is what that open world area looks like, I hope that that's what it is like. Overwhelmingly, and that there isn't really a whole lot of deviation, or you know, no more rocky stuff.
Bake me in your flames.
Damn, bro, you good? You can't talk to him. Can't talk to NPCs on horseback.
Ah, good sir. What business might you have in such a place as this? I hardly think you're here to tempt yourself with flame.
It's gonna be too far, isn't it?
Fleshly form of yours. Your timing, though, is impeccable as ever. I've been making just the thing for you on my journey here.
And he throws it
I'm sure it'll suit you to a T.
because they know we're too far.
It's hardly more than lukewarm here. I won't be able to temper my body such that it'll never crack again. Perhaps I'll head eastward. There's an old saying I've caught wind of. Above the lofty clouds,
Fair
icy
Missoula.
giant's peak doth soar. Here lieth the flame of
Oh,
ruin,
there you go.
which ever burning roars.
I could have spoken to him already from here.
Perhaps I'll head eastward.
I didn't notice because I was on
There's an old
torrent.
saying I've caught wind of. Above the lofty clouds, the icy giant's peak doth. Perhaps there's an old above the. Perhaps I'll head as an old above the.
Who knows? Maybe there's an item or something. If I reload, because I'm sure he'll be gone. Okay, never mind.
Perhaps I'll as an old above the.
Cool. Now I'm pretty sure there's gonna be no progress here, but I'll double check anyway. 'Cause I think you have to go back to Jarbarn after you complete Alexander's questline. This right here. This is the damn rock I'm talking about. I hope these kinds of surfaces are like barely a thing in the DLC. It's just so repetitive. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Just let the whole open world area of the DLC be just wheat fields. Don't even give us any rock.
I'll begin my journey as a warrior.
Cool. Okay, next up. Go buy all of the dragon incantations from the church and cathedral of Dragon Communion. First the church. I remember I saw a couple more things that I also wanted to talk about on the list. But all the stuff I was talking about in the beginning of the video. I'll save it for the end of the video though. Absolutely bodied the Church of Dragon Communion. Might have also cleared out the cathedral, I don't know. That's a weird spawning area when I have to walk all the way over here. Actually, never mind. I also had to walk a bit for the church. Okay, here we go. Oh, some of them cost 2. That's right. Oof. This costs. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. 17 arcane though. One more arcane. Grill's Roar is like the best one. What was that? What was that animation he just did? I hate that we can't exit out of here quick enough to see. Maybe we can. Or, you know, the fact that we can't make it half screen like when you're in the menu. So you can see what you're doing a bit. Two, 3, 4, 6, and I have 8 left. Got everything, unless There's something else that I can use Dragon Hearts for. They just give you an abundance of them in case you miss something. That's epic. You know what's even more epic? What I'm about to do right now. Okay. Flame sling. That's gotta go. Okay. I feel good with these three. I wanna keep spells at like a minimum. 'Cause 3 is like the perfect number, I think. Because I never use them. And that's because I have so many of them that I just forget. Although I want to switch this around. I don't know why. Yeah, I want to do the Frame of Frenzy. If I can find it. And then the Rot Breath, but I can do that now. Where's that soldier? Over here, right? What? That was that short bird. That was that bad, huh? Okay. Oh, he did the thrust attack, because of course he did. Of course he does the one attack that would hit me there. That's so garbage. Oh, I need to hold it. Right. I keep forgetting you need to hold L1 to get the proper effect. Never mind. Oh, I did. I used up the whole bar. That damage. See? Why would I ever use a spell? I know it's not optimized for my build, but it's like... Let's do the Rotten Breath. Let's do the Scarlet Rot Breath. And now he'll be rotted. And that was so much more damage. What the hell was the point of the other one? Tell me. Okay, Bell-bearing Hunter. So tell me, what's the point of Ezekiel's Decay? Or whatever that's the name was. Ezek's or whatever the hell. I thought those were stronger. Maybe they are, and I'm just somehow... I don't know. Wait. Yeah. Dragon Ice or Dragon Ice. You know. Just to check out, Grail's Roar. I mean, that was a lot of damage, but so was a couple swings of my sword, And that doesn't cost any FP. It's cool looking, I guess. that effect on it is really cool at the bite mark. That looks cool for sure. I think these are just more for specialized, optimized builds. Grail's Roar is like the best thing I've ever seen. It's so good. So OP. He interrupted it. Okay. He didn't attack me there, which I'm confused about. Does it actually stun the opponent long enough to not get hit by them? Of course he blocked. Wow, the opponent actually doesn't hit you. It's garbage. Already dead. I know there's another guy around here, but all the way over there, I think. Yeah. This one did not wait. Uh-huh. Get stuck. Why would he do that attack? I was out of range. When he started the attack, I was out of range. Why did he do it again? Not what I was trying to do. It's been a while since I did it, so kind of forgot how to do it, but that was sick. That was not sick. Totally dodged all those attacks, man. Stop the bullshit. I held it the first time, I mashed it the second time. But there's no continuation for that, that's all. I'm also not using the dragon incantation seal, so dragon communion seal, I think it's called. No way that this actually works on never gonna get it, never gonna hit it. It's how aggressive. Oh, thrust, okay. Do or die. It's only a PvP thing? Yeah, it's only a PvP thing, I think. Where is my poise, huh? I mean, I guess, but I'm sure the damage will still be shit because I'm not optimized. Let's see this. Let's see this. It's alright. It's trash. It's trash. I say it's trash because there's no way I didn't get that off at the end. I know before I was fully charging it, but that last time... Okay, this is uncharged. Next charged. That last time I did not do it charged and it still didn't get off in time. I still got hit out of it. Yeah, this is why I don't mess with this stuff, man. It's just so garbage. So many garbage. Oh. I'm probably just garbage. But just put in another point into Arcane for nothing. I think the Rotten Breath really is the best choice here. Next on the list is Hyetta, dude. Where the hell is Hyetta? Like, she was not where her final resting place would be. What's it's over here, I think. Yeah. She should be down here, right? I spoke to her in Liurnia at a couple of different locations. Shouldn't she be over here by this wall over here? Look at this absolute bastard. Wall and door. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. What ruined my first playthrough completely. So anyway, where's she like around here? I'm gonna go look up Hyetta all locations. Then I'll be back. Okay, are these wolves still unreasonably tanky? I bet a single R1 will not one-shot it. An L1. Not even an L one. That's why I hate this game. This is why I hate this game. This is why I fuck From Software. The immaculate backsteps that bullshit enemies like wolves do, and then immediately interrupted out of 2 attacks. Where's the poise? I know I'm not wearing heavy armor, but I'm level 134, dude. 134, and I'm using a power stancing 2 great swords. Should not be interrupted that easily by enemies from way earlier in the game. That attack was like a few frames from hitting him, and I still got interrupted out of it. That late into the swing. Where's the hyper armor, dude? It's so bad. That looks so good, though. Dude, the effects in this game look so good. Alright, gonna look up where the hell Hyatt is, and I'll be back. Okay, I apparently was not at the right location. Which is embarrassing. It's over here, not over there. I was so confident I was at the right one. There she is. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I was so certain I spoke to her and gave her the 3rd Shabiri grape already, but I guess I'm just misremembering from when I did it in my first playthrough.
Hello? Is someone there?
This is where I tell her
Would
it's
you
people's
believe me?
eyes
There
that
were
she's
grapes
eating,
in
right?
Possession to me. I'm on a pilgrimage in search of the distant light, and when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel the light in the back of my eyes. Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. That aside, I wonder what Shabriri grapes really are. Delectably tender and sweet, yet searing. What a sight they must be to behold.
About to ruin everything.
No. That's not possible. Not all of those people. Their own. So those noises I heard were... Sorry. I'm alright now. Don't mind me. I apologize. You only did as I asked. I'll be fine. Think no more of it. I apologize. I'll be fine. I apologize. I'll be fine. Think no more of it. Is that you over there? I've gleaned something very important indeed, thanks to you. The reason why it was eyes I had to eat. The distant light is far and frail, so faint it can't be seen by the naked eye. But with everyone's eyes together, it appears. Finally, it all makes sense. I'm certain now. I will be a finger maiden. I've gleaned something I'm certain now. I'm certain now.
Beautiful. You could even say, "You're beautiful."
You're beautiful.
Now she'll be at her final resting place. Really? Off to Bellum Church we go. I do have the fingerprints grape as well, I'm certain. Yes. Inflamed. Look how radical that looks, man. Seared with a repulsive fingerprint, burn akin to those that marred his entire body. Offered to
Oh, hello. Is that you over there? Have you ever heard of fingerprint grapes? They're special grapes which only grow on those who've been clasped by the burnt fingers. I would truly love to try one. The distant light seems far closer than before, but I can't sense a thing from the usual grapes anymore. Please, could you donate a fingerprint grape to me? Without one, I don't know. I feel like I might go mad. Oh. Oh. A fingerprint grape. Tried and true. What a wondrous thing. A fingerprint grape. Oh. How sweet. Yet, how it burns. Thank you. I've composed myself again. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you. Thank you. I'm sure I'll be a finger maiden. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sure I'll be a finger maiden.
not if you're dead. Head ass. Alright. I wish there was more to Bellum Church. It looks so cool. But yet there's like nothing. Well, I'm sure there was an item here, right? At one point. I don't remember if I picked up an item or not, but I don't know. I feel like you should have more stuff here. Now are we good? Elden Throne. I think she'll be here now. I'm fairly confident.
So you're here as well, are you? I realized as we've talked, I'll be a maiden, and you, surely a lord. Go to the door ahead. After divesting yourself of your possessions, it will surely open, and the three fingers will welcome you. May the flame of chaos find purchase within you. Go to the door ahead. After divesting yourself of your possessions, it will surely open, and the three fingers will welcome you.
After divesting yourself of your possessions. I understand that to mean after you drop all of your items, have nothing in your inventory. Obviously, I know it just means be naked, but still. After you've divested yourself of your possessions, it's not really the most clear thing to say, take off all your armor. Because it's just the armor you can put out. You can still have your sword and stuff. Watch me make the biggest mistake of my life and accidentally enter.
Go to the door ahead. It will surely...
I'll be back to do that after I've already completed the game, you know, and then backup save and all that. Shield of the Guilty, Shield, or Mask of the Guilty. I don't have either of those, so unless I just didn't come across them yet, I'll have to go find them. And would you look at that? There's another place that I somehow missed. Again, when I was being so careful and thorough. Thought I was, anyway. Let me actually double confirm that I actually don't have the shield. Pretty sure I did confirm that I didn't have it. Is there more to this? Nani? Am I dead? I might be dead here. Wow, that delay. Did I just come upon a place I haven't been to yet? Hold on now. Hold on now. That's why I hate torrents. I don't remember whether I've done this already or not. Just let me get this. No way that attack would have hit me midair and then it would have knocked me off. The cheating! The cheating. No way that doesn't reach, dude. This game is so trash. This game is so trash, man. Okay, you know what? I'll lock on. I'll lock on to him. Absolute trash game. With trash spells. Incantations, I should say. There should have been a frickin' door to a catacomb right here. That would have been epic. Oh, new content. I've never seen this before in my life. Epic. Watch it just be the trashiest items ever. Times 3. That's good. I like that. And then absolute garbage. I wonder who's chilling here. Sleep? No. could go down. Could. Yeah. Huh. This is interesting. Imagine. 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 Exactly. Clearly not. Clearly not. How is there nothing here? How is there not an item like here? Or here? Wait, spoke too soon. Watch this just be a dead end for nothing. This is why open world and From Software don't go together. There's so many of these moments in the game where in the previous games there wouldn't be a whole ass side path. This whole area here wouldn't lead to nothing. It'd be some new area or an item at the very least. Look at this. Absolute garbage. Shouldn't have been an item. Like what? And before it's invisible bridge and I just have to walk. Sheesh. Or it's a unique fall where I'd actually survive that fall and then it leads to something else. Okay. Thanks, I guess. Huh. Just being careful in terms of looking through this area, just because if I didn't find that path, I'm thinking maybe I didn't thoroughly explore this area, but I think we're good. Sorry I had to do it. I don't think I've killed this flower before. Maybe I did. I missed this drop down, this area. I missed that area. Kill me. Just kill me, dude. I missed this. I missed this. You just never know. The spoilers. The disgusting spoilers. Okay. How are you gonna make an opening and then make it completely pointless? So you can see inside. Okay, okay. And I still missed it because I'm trash. Alright. Great forward momentum, to give you that much. Okay. Now we look for the Mask of the Guilty. Okay. For the Eclipse Crest Great Shield. I just saw a quick Google image saying that it was here. I'm not actually sure that it is. I have this feeling that it isn't, but I don't know. I just feel like it might be something I get at the mountaintops of the Giants or the consecrated snowfields. Maybe not though. Okay. Gonna run into those headless soldiers, aren't they? Yep. Okay. Look how I interrupted him out of his shield guard counter. So trash. From that far away though. Ducked under the crossbows. Now I'm too far away. Finally felt what I've been waiting to feel for the past 2-3 hours, which is hunger.